The Lazy King is a Japanese light novel based in an alternate fantasy world. Our protagonist is known as the Lazy King, and he used to be a normal person in our world who got isekai'd into this fantasy world. When he got isekai'd into this world, he became a demon though. And then time passes, and before he even realizes, he became a demon lord, one of the strongest in the entire world. However, in this world, people who get isekai'd are not rare. There are many other people besides him who have also got isekai'd from our world and got transported into this world. Our protagonist is very lazy, like the title states. He has no desires besides to sleep forever. That is his curse, and at the same time his source of power, which I'll be explaining more later on. Honestly, it's been a while since I last read this, and I still remember how much I liked this. It was so good. Something about it just pulls you in and won't let you stop reading. It was quite a short series with around 16 chapters, and the ending didn't feel much like an ending. It felt more like a cliffhanger, and it felt as if the series should have continued. But still, nonetheless, an amazing series. And don't get me wrong, the ending was great as well. So at the start of the series, the Lazy King, our protagonist, already is strong. We don't see his journey to becoming strong. At the beginning of the series, we see him sleeping in the demon castle, being served by servants. We don't get to see his backstory or his struggles becoming a demon lord. The story starts off with him as an overpowered demon lord. But as you read through the story, you slowly learn about his backstory and what he went through after getting isekai'd through conversations and interactions between characters. I think this is a super unique approach for an isekai, and how it's not super straightforward, and it's very different from other repetitive, cliche isekai fantasies. Also know I like trashy isekai, but it does get a little tiring when I'm reading a carbon copy of the exact same thing. I'm not trying to hate on isekais, I'm just trying to explain how this specific story is simply superior to most other isekais. I'm not saying this is the best isekai, but it's superior to most others. Also, the world and concept of this story is pretty detailed and unique. In this world, there are tons of humanoid demons, demons that can think and have intelligence like humans. All the demons are divided into one of 7 different category types: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. These are the 7 sins, and all demons are born as one of the 7, and their source of power is their sin. For example, if there's a gluttony demon, the more it eats, the stronger it becomes. If it's an envy demon, the more it becomes envious and jealous of those around it, the stronger it becomes. If it's a lust type demon, the hornier it gets, the powerfuler it gets. This means all weebs would be able to go Super Saiyan in this world. This also applies to the Lazy King, who is the ultimate sloth type demon, and the strongest sloth demon ever. He is so lazy, he has to have someone spoon feed him his food. But because of that, he is so strong, he can beat up a demon lord without even moving. I just think the concept is so cool. Like in a lot of other stories, the main character are lazy, but they have no reason to be lazy besides simply wanting to be lazy or simply wanting a slow life. But in this story, being lazy is part of the actual plot. And being lazy actually makes him stronger. And besides that, there is great world building and relation between different group factions, but I won't get into that though. This story has multiple POVs and viewpoints. It changes like every chapter or so. It's a first-person story, but it has multiple point of views, and this goes well with the plot and story. Our protagonist, the Lazy King, he doesn't do much. He just lazes around, so seeing only his point of view would probably get boring. But by adding multiple POVs, it can still add tension and plot progression. It shows the point of views of the Lazy King's subordinates and how they view our protagonist. It shows how they think, and the story develops the side characters as well. The characters aren't two-dimensional. They develop and grow, and it feels as if they have a real personality. They are all well-written characters. The story even sometimes switches point of views to the villains as well. The novel shows the point of views for everyone, and everyone's viewpoints and thoughts. This allows you to understand the relation and inner feelings of each and every character, and you can read as they grow. As you read through the story changes point of viewpoints a lot, and you start to question who the real protagonist is. The world and the story revolves around the Lazy King, but less than half the series is his point of view. So technically, in a way, there is no real protagonist, but the story does revolve around the Lazy King. I just absolutely love the story, not because of how philosophical blah 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 kind of stuff, but I enjoyed it purely as entertainment. Although it is pretty philosophical if you're into that philosophical stuff. It was fun to read even without caring for the philosophical stuff. And just as is, I can't fully explain how I feel and think about this story with just words. I'm not a good explainer, but if there's one thing I can say is that you should definitely read this. A fair warning though, it's not really a lighthearted series. It can get pretty heavy and depressing at times. It won't make you cry, but it will make you just feel things. The ending made me feel a little bit empty and sad, as cringe as that does sound. But it's still super fun to read, and I'll probably reread it, because it's got some pretty good hype moments where the Lazy King uses his powers to crush all of his enemies. Like some moments where the Lazy King arrives into the battlefield to save the day. Damn, it's good, I must say. Despite me saying it's a pretty heavy series, there's some pretty funny lighthearted scenes as well. So there's a great blend between both heavy moments and lighthearted moments as well. It's just a perfect blend of the two. Overall, I rate this novel a solid 9 out of 10. I highly recommend it, even if you don't like heavy series, because it's not just merely that. What are you waiting for? Just go and read it already. I'm telling you, it's good. This is one of the few isekais that I praise this highly. Well, thanks for listening and watching this video. I hope this video did pique your interest, and you do give this novel at least a try. If you have any other light novel recommendations, be it Chinese, Korean, or Japanese light novel that you think is similar to that I would enjoy, please do leave in the comments. I would like to read more, and I may even review it if it's good enough. Also, I'd prefer if it were complete and fully translated, by the way. Hey, future me here. I just realized there are 3 extra side stories as well, but it's not translated, and it's only available in raw. But the thing is, I really wanted to read it, so I Google translated it, reread the whole thing, and translated it myself. I'll link my fan translations in my video description as well. So if you want to read the extra stories, go check it out. I couldn't find any other translations online of it, so I just translated it myself. Do know it's not perfect. I Google translated it and then translated it myself to make it make sense, but it's not perfect. Well, peace out.